The area of a square is 81 square centimeters. If the same amount is added to one dimension and removed from the other, the resulting rectangle has an area of 9 square centimeters, less than the area of the square. So how much is added and subtracted? So first let's think about if we have a square that has an area of 81, then each side has to be 9. And so the idea is I'm turning this into this rectangle by adding something to one side and subtracting it from the other. So 9 plus x, 9 minus x. So when I find the area of the rectangle, 9 minus x times 9 plus x. And I know this has an area of 9 square centimeters, less than the area of the square. The square was 81, so 9 less than 81 will be 72. Multiplying out the left gives me 81 minus x squared equal to 72. I can subtract 81 from both sides and get negative x squared is equal to negative 9. Dividing by negative 1 gives me x squared equal to 9. And then taking the square root gives me x equal to 3. So I'm adding and subtracting 3. A ladder is resting against a wall. We know the top of the ladder touches the wall at 9 feet. We want to find the length of the ladder if its length is 3 feet more than the distance from the wall. So if the distance is x, the ladder is x plus 3. And we'll use the Pythagorean theorem, which says the hypotenuse squared is equal to leg squared plus leg squared. Multiplying out the left gives me x squared plus 6x plus 9. On the right I have 81 plus x squared. I can subtract x squared from both sides and see that they both cancel. So I have 6x plus 9 is equal to 81. Subtracting 9 from both sides gives me 6x is 72. And dividing by 6, x is 12. So I actually want to know the length of the ladder, which is x plus 3. So the length of the ladder is 12 plus 3, which is 15 feet. A model rocket is launched with an initial velocity of 90 feet per second, and its height h in feet after t seconds is given by this formula. So we want to determine the vertex. The first step is negative b over 2a. So b is the number in front of t, and a is the number in front of t squared. So this is negative 90 divided by negative 32, which once we work that out, to the nearest thousandth is 2.813. And that's just the first coordinate. We now need to stick that back in. So I have 90 times 2.813 minus 16 times 2.813 squared. Order of operations says the first thing we should do is do your exponents. So 2.813 squared is 7.913. Next we can multiply 90 times 2.813 is 253.17. And then 16 times 7.913 is 126.608. We can now subtract, and we get 126.562. So my actual vertex, 2.813, 126.562. Next, we want to determine after how many seconds will the rocket reach a height of 120 feet. So we know the height, but we don't know the time. That's what we're looking for. We'll need to subtract 120 from both sides to give me 0 is negative 16t squared plus 90t minus 120. And we'll now use the quadratic formula. So I have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So we have negative 90 plus or minus the square root of 420 divided by negative 32. We actually want to go ahead and evaluate this. So I have negative 90 plus or minus 20.494 over negative 32. So I have two possible answers. Negative 90 plus 20.494 over negative 32, which gives me 2.172 seconds. The second one, negative 90 minus 2.494 over negative 32, will give us 3.453. So it actually reaches this height twice.